Good day, everyone. My name is Michelle D. Clark, and I'm your favorite small town girl with big time dreams who God has definitely shown His grace and His mercy, and He has saved me from some life threatening things. Today is a terrific Tuesday on purpose. Why? Because I said so, and you can too. That's the beauty of it. We all can say it and then put actions towards it to make it manifest. All right, you all. So, welcome to our Tuesday talks. I am so excited to see you all again. I know we had a uncustomary, magnificent Monday where we talked about mind setting. It was uncustomary because I normally come on, as you know, on our Tuesdays, right? But I was on yesterday evening. For those of you all who missed it, of course, hashtag replay is for real. So make sure you catch that. We're going to do a quick little summary, if you will, or recap. For those of you who did miss yesterday. But before we get into that, let's get into some house rules. Okay. So, first of all, if you would like to have a proper shout out, because I see some eyeballs starting to pop up already. So, if you would like a proper shout out, then make sure to put your name in the chat and where you're coming in from. And then that way I can give you a proper shout out. Additionally, if this is your first time, then welcome. And if you are a repeat supporter, then welcome back. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and click the little bell so that way you'll be in the know when we drop new content, just like we're going to be doing tomorrow. I know, right? You're going to see me every single day. And that is definitely uncustomary. So I did a little something a little different. So you guys, we'll get into some more housekeeping in 2.5 seconds. I don't know if you guys noticed, but well, I started off with my hair a little bit back here because I was trying to show off my little Elizabethan type shirt here, which I really like this. Okay, so if you like this style, then let me know because I'm trying some different things here. So at any rate, so yes, while we're on that break for station identification, that is, how about we take a quick little break? So for those of you all, if this is your first time, then you may have not have heard this before. Every now and again, I may do this on a regular live, but I usually say this for my Tuesday talks with Miss Clark, LMSW, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, that's the name of the whole show, so you know when and where to show up, right? Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So, and what I normally do with you all is I tell everybody to make sure that you stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, right? So I always keep my little bottle of water next to me. So this is a time for us to take a break for station identification. So if you have not been on an elevator and heard elevator music lately, because I know I've been on a few, haven't heard it, but that's okay. Then we're going to do a little elevator music in our minds. And then when I'm taking my sip, you can take your sip too. If you don't have water, this is your time to hurry up and go get it. Also, this is a good time for you all to invite somebody to watch along with you. If you've been watching all this time, I love seeing those eyeballs. I see some more eyeballs popping up. Awesome. But how about invite some of your friends so that way they can get on some of this too? Because we are going to be talking about we're going to carry on our conversation that we had yesterday about mapping our cognitions. So we're going to talk about mapping our cognitions. And I'll get a little bit more about what that means in 2.5 seconds after we take our hydration break. All right, you all, let's go. Refreshing. Love it. I know somebody who's new and probably like, look, I ain't getting on here to watch you drink water. And that's okay. You don't have to. So, all right. Cool beans. That's just a quick little break I like to take to remind people to make sure to stay hydrated. It's very, very important for our brains to function appropriately. So, all right, you all, let's do a quick recap from yesterday. So, for those of you all who may have missed yesterday, we went through and talked about mapping our cognitions. So, I broke it down on how our minds work. So when we encounter an event could be anything under the sun. An event could be blinking, it could be you watching this right now, it could be you flipping your hair, it could be whatever, breathing, everything, watching cars go past, talking to your kids. It doesn't matter. Everything is an event. Okay, start there. Then we talked about how we have thoughts, self-talk, call that in our psychobabble, right? But we have thoughts about the event. Based on those thoughts, feelings are produced, generated. And then we have a action, reaction, response, behavior, actions, whatever you want to call it. So that is the chain of how it's mapped. Now, yesterday I used some, I guess, universal type examples to kind of bring the point home. And I talked about how there's people who like snakes, people who don't like snakes for whatever reason. But when they happen to see a snake, what would their how would they map that cognition? So those who like the snakes would probably say something like, Oh, cool. Wonder what, pretty diamonds on the back, da da da. This kind of snake. I like to take it home. I love to hug it and kiss it and call it George and make it my friend, whatever, right? And for the people who didn't like it, they might say something in their minds like, oh my goodness, this is going to bite me. Is it scary? Da 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 da. And then, of course, they have feelings based on those thoughts. And then they would have a reaction that could be anywhere from fight, flight, freeze, capture it, become friends with it, take it home, whatever, right? So I use those kinds of um, examples because it's something that we can relate to. And in general, it doesn't evoke emotions response because it's something that, unless of course you live out in the wild or if you live out in an area where they are prevalent, then that's not something that you run into. I know here in the Midwest, in Michigan, we don't run into snakes out here that often, right? So in the region that I'm in, of course, some maybe someplace out further in Michigan they do, but not here. So anywho's, I use that as just an example. So it is an example that could be palatable. But today, you all, okay, so hold on to your hats. I was gonna say hold on to your lace fronts or hold on to your wigs, but you know, hold on to your seats because I want to dig a little deeper today. So I want to go a little deeper and I want to talk about some things that us as women, and feel free to put some things in the chat because it's called Tuesday Talks with Miss Clark, not Monday Monologue. So as much as I love to hear myself talk, to a certain extent, I much more would rather hear your comments because obviously I can't hear you, but I can hear your comments in the chat. So please, if there's something in there that you want to ask me, oh, by the way, we will have a segment towards the end. So get your questions ready. Hey, good evening, good evening. I see Miss Fuchina's in the house. Hello, hello. So yes, and she's chiming in from YouTube. So all right, cool beans. Make sure, Miss Fuchina, that you subscribe and click the little bell so that way you'll be in the know when we drop new content. All right, cool beans. And Fuchina, she is an amazing entrepreneur. We are actually in a challenge together. And that is one of the things that is sponsoring us to come on every single day to give you guys more, give you more, right? So, all right. So, at any rate, so I do want to talk about, real quickly, we'll have our rapid fire AMA segment. And that is Ask Miss Clark Anything. No, it's not against it's not against medical advice. It's not American Music Awards. It is Ask Miss Clark Anything. So make sure to have your questions ready so that way I can answer questions to help you live inspire free and transform, right? To give you that freedom that you guys deserve. All right, so let's talk about something that's a little more prevalent, if you will. Yes, give them more. Dr. Kroom is chiming in. Hey, Dr. Kroom. I just got finished watching her podcast. Was absolutely amazing. So if you all have pets or thinking about having pets or anything that's about pets, you want to make sure to check her out. And of course, there is LaShawn. I call LaShandra, but LaShawn is popping in as well. So she says there's, oh, um, okay, I should maybe ask this. Can everybody see my screen? Because she's saying that there's nothing on here. She's watching in from Facebook. So if you're chiming in from Facebook, because I see Fuchina is chiming in from Facebook, let me know whether or not you are actually able to see anything. Because obviously on my end, I see everything because I'm looking at myself. So, all right, I'm about to click on to Facebook for 2.5 seconds on my page to see that. Or if somebody can help me out and let me know if you see it as well. And if you're having problems on Facebook, y'all, then just click on over to. Oh, I see myself on here. I'm looking at Facebook now, and I'm on. So I'm sorry that you're having some challenges there, LaShawn, but let's see. It looks like I'm looking at my screen now. And oh nope, I'm still here. Okay, so all right, hey, and there is Cynthia coming in from Facebook. Hey, young lady, how are you doing this evening? So, LaShawn, if you are still having problems with viewing it on Facebook, just go on over to either LinkedIn or YouTube. We're broadcasting simultaneously, so you can watch from either of those. And it's MicheleDClark Lift here. Let me help you out here. So it's MicheleDClark Lift. So all you have to do is go over to any one of those and check me out on YouTube. Right? All right, so cool beans. So let's get back to cognitive mapping. So we're mapping our cognitions. So basically that's breaking down how from when the event happens to our response. Okay. So let's talk about something that usually evokes a little bit more emotions. And let's talk about relationships. Now we'll start out here and then we'll wrap our way up. So let's talk about relationships with, first of all, our kids. Now that for some people, we start talking about kids, it's like, oh, Michelle, that's like already up here. Because sometimes kids, well, let's just say kids can be kids. So let's just say you have an interaction with your kids. So I do a lot for people who may not know. I'm a licensed mental health therapist. That's the LMSW, licensed master social work. So I'm a mental health therapist, and when I'm working with families, I'm also a parent trainer. So I train parents on how to become better parents. So in that model, we we talk about the exchange between parents and children, and sometimes when we interact with our kids, they may not be on the best behavior. We may not have the best thoughts about our kids in the process of the event taking place. So let's use an example where, here's a good one, you all. Let me know if you can relate. If you can relate to this one when I say it, if you relate to this one, then I want you to put a 3 in the chat. I know I didn't start with 1, I didn't start with 2. I just went right to 3. Put a 3 in the chat. Okay. So you're on the phone, taking care of business. Kids didn't want to say nothing to you before you got on the phone. As soon as you get on the phone, mama, mama, or if they're little, mommy, 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 mommy. You're like, are you really kidding me? So when that happens, that's an event. So the event is we're on the phone and our kids are interrupting. That's the event. So our thoughts about the event can fall in, 1 or 2 categories. When we categorize it, we talk about plus or minus. And it's not to say that it's good or bad. It's just, what is the type of thought? Is it a positive thought that we're having about the event, or is it a negative thought that we're having about the event? Right? So a negative thought about the event could be like, didn't I tell little Susie to not bother me when I'm on the phone? Or if she called my name one more time, right? Any one of those things, right? Based on that, when you heard me say that, what were some of the feelings that you got? What were some feelings that you felt when you heard me as mommy thinking those thoughts? I didn't say that to little Susie, but thinking those thoughts about little Susie. Did it feel positive about the event, or did it feel negative about the event? If you said negative about the end, ding, 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 you are correct. Let's give you a prize, right? So, yes, it was a negative thought about the event. So, based on that thought, chances are I'm going to have negative emotions about that event. So the emotions, exactly. And they're coming in late. Some of the responses are coming in late. It's a little bit of delay here. So thank you so much, Cynthia, for putting that out there and engaging. Love it. Because again, this is not Monday Monologues. This is Tuesday Talks with Miss Clark, LMSW, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So when we have those thoughts about it, generally our feelings, emotions are going to correspond with the type of thought, positive, negative, right? So thoughts, feelings could be irritability, annoyance, anger, frustration, any of those. It might even be feeling overwhelmed. It might be one of those Calgon take me away moments. Okay, I know I'm telling my age when I reference Calgon, right? Most folks like, Calgon who? So yes, and then after that, so after we have those emotions, now we're going to go get in motion with our behaviors, our actions, response, whatever you want to call them, outcomes. So it could be telling Lucy, shh, telling her to be quiet. Or it could be, hold on a minute. Or, any one of those responses, right? Or we could just ignore her altogether. So we have a slew of responses that we could take based on our thoughts about the event. So now let's flip the script. Let's say that and I know this might be kind of difficult to think, well, how are we going to have some positive thoughts about this, right? Bear with me. So same event, on the phone, little Susie comes over, ma. So initially we might have to collect ourselves. And now collecting ourselves is a response. So in order to collect ourselves, we would have to have the thoughts. I'm not trying to go off on little Susie. Little Susie probably needs something right now. It's probably very important. So I want to give her my attention. and let her know just 2.5 seconds, I'm about to be off the phone. So let me just calm myself down. These are all thoughts, y'all, that happen like this. So let me calm myself down and deal with little Susie. Now, based on that, let me put the phone down for a second. Not hang up. Let me just put the phone down. I want to hang up on another person. So based on that conversation in my mind, what were your feelings? What were some of the feelings that was produced? Did you feel the same anger or frustration or irritability as the first scenario of thoughts? Or did you feel more calm, in control, relaxed, poised, positioned? Well, if you picked behind door number 2, then ding, 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 you are correct. You guys are batting 2 for 2. So yes, absolutely. So now, based on that, again, based on our thoughts, our emotions are going to correspond. So, like I just stated, some of those emotion words that I use: feeling more calm, feeling control, feeling relaxed, feeling poised, any of those things. And we might still feel a little frustrated because that's it's real. When I say negative, I'm not saying bad. Again, it's just the negative response to the event. Having emotions is not the problem. So a lot of people think that anger or frustration, they think that, yes, exactly. They think that having the anger is the problem. No, it is not. Being angry, being irritable, any of those things is just a state of being. It's awareness that something is going on. Something is changing, something is happening. It is our response to our emotions, our response to our thoughts that makes it good or bad, makes it constructive or destructive. All right, just thought I put that little, what's they call that? After school special. Thought I put that little bulletin out there. So, all right, back to our scenario. So, based on the thoughts, let me collect myself. She must have something really urgent that she's talking about. I'm just going to tell her real quick that I'll be with her. Feel more calm, cool, collected, right? Shaken, not stirred. James Bond. So now our response to little Susie may be something like this: Susie, I'm on the phone. Give me like 2 minutes, and then I'm going to come see what you want. Go to your room and go play now, please. Okay. And then get back on the phone. 2 minutes done. Off the phone and go. Because guess what's going to happen? If we tell little Susie 2 minutes, guess who's going to come back in 2 minutes if we don't come to her? That was a tip I gave y'all for free. So, all right. Or it could be something like this: Susie, give me a moment. May or may not work, right? But it's not what we're keying on right now is not so much of what Susie's going to do afterwards. We're focusing on us, our behaviors, based on our thoughts, which produce our emotions and then sets us in motion, right? So then, of course, if Susie responds favorably, that's another event, and of course, we'll have corresponding thoughts, feelings, responds to that event. Every single thing is an event, and then it starts the cycle all the way back over. So, okay, so we are at 18 minutes, you guys. So go ahead. This will be a part now. So I'm going to give a little bit more. Y'all want more? If you want more, let me know. If you want more, let's see, put a 4 in the chat. 4 for more. Okay, I so thought about 4 for 4. Used to be my favorite. Every time, everybody that I know of, at least anyways, I can't say everybody and overgeneralize, but everybody has like this little weak spot, right? For something that's naughty. And that was mine, 4 for 4. All right. Until they took away well, we won't talk about it because they're not giving me any kind of endorsements for this. So I'm not going to name their name. So bottom line is 4 for 4. So if you want more, give me a 4 in the chat. You want more? Give me 4. Oh, I see that the 4's coming in. All right. Awesome sauce. So let's give some more. So let's give a different example. So that was an example with kids. Let's ramp it up some. Let's talk about relationships. Relationships with a significant other. Because children, that's a relationship. Now we're going to ramp it up. Relationships with a significant other. So let's talk about, let's say if, this is a loaded one, you all. I don't know if you're ready for this. We're going to go here because I know what happens. Let's say you're in a relationship with somebody and you're expecting them to come home at a certain time, and they don't make it home at that time. Now, your thoughts could go in multiple different directions, and that's going to be based off of a foundation that's already been set, off of a series of other events that have taken place that has created a habit, that has created a concept, a construct, a schema. No, not no. Okay, some people are like a schema. What's that? No, a schema. SCHEMA. No, that's not something that you need some cream to cure. It's basically the networkings of concepts that are in our minds, like our filing cabinet system, where we store different things. So that way, when we experience a quote unquote new experience, it doesn't have to take the long way around. It gets placed into one of those, like, we've seen that before. It goes here. And we have to experience things new for every time we experience something that is quote unquote new. It's like, okay, that's similar. I've seen that before. So it's going to go in here. Now, the good news about that is that we don't experience something new all over again. The bad news about that is that we don't experience things all over new again. And we overgeneralize, and we may make mistakes because the fact that we think this looks like that, and it may not be that, right? But I say all that to say this. So let's say that there may have been, let's look on the one side that we have a relationship of trust and love, and so the person doesn't come back when they say they're supposed to come back. So we may say to ourselves, okay, so I know that Bobby said that he was going to be home at 9 and he's not here yet. I wonder if he got into an accident, or I wonder if he had to stay late at work, or maybe he's going to call me. Maybe I should call him. Those types of thoughts. Based off of that, now, here's a fun fact, you guys. So generally, we would say that that was positive thoughts about the event. But was it really? Was it really? Let's see. What would be some of the emotions that would correspond with those thoughts? Some of the emotions that would correspond with those thoughts are anxiety or anxiousness, worry, nervous, on edge. Any one of those, right? Does that feel positive? No. So even though we're not assuming that there was some ulterior, because we're going to get to that in a second, y'all, that there was some ulterior underworkings happening, like maybe Bobby is not where he's supposed to be because maybe Bobby was somebody else. That's okay. We're going to get to that in a second, though. I'm jumping the gun because that's real talk, y'all, real self-talk. But we're talking about the foundation based off of love and trust and all that stuff, right? So, but at the same time, the thoughts are negative in a sense that it's not looking at the event favorably. So we have the unfavorable emotions that go along with that. Now, the outcome, the result of that could be we might shoot Bobby a text. We might call him up. We might give him a few more minutes. We might do nothing. Who knows? But again, that's the sequence. Now let's flip the script. Let's talk about if there wasn't a foundation of love and trust. And Bobby has a habit of not coming home when he says he's supposed to come home, and I found numbers in his pocket, or this, that, and the third. So now those thoughts might be, I know this Joker better not be with Becky. And I'm talking about, there's a song, Becky with the good hair. He better not be with Becky with the good hair. Or I'm telling you, and now I may be trying to figure out what is his passcode on such and such. So now I went from the thought, feeling angry, mad, as you know what, HE double hockey sticks, frustrated, annoyed. I might even feel sad, embarrassed, ashamed. So it's not always the knee-jerk anger, irritability. It may not always be that. It may be, I can't believe it. I just hope that Bobby is not doing this again. Feeling sad, forlorn, betrayed. And now the response to that might be crying. It might be throwing things. It might be painting, might be turning on some music. So even though now I'm shifting gears a little bit, you all, because every time an event happens that we view negatively, and even if the emotion that accompanies it may start off as negative, it doesn't mean that our response has to be negative. We can control that. We can control that. Now, if you all want to know how you can control that, then guess what? You're going to have to wait until tomorrow because we are at 25 minutes. So if you have any questions right now, this will be the opportune time to go ahead and put your questions in the chat so we can go ahead and start our rapid fire AMA segment because I just know somebody has a question. And if you have a scenario that you want broken down, if you have a scenario that you want broken down, then make sure that you put that scenario in the chat right now. That could be a part of our rapid fire AMA. So go ahead and put that. Thank you so much, Miss Fuchina, saying that's good stuff. I love it. Right. So if you have any questions and you want me to break down and do some cognitive mapping, you want me to break that down of a scenario that you may have experienced, let's do that. And of course, somebody might say, okay, Michelle, well, I ain't really trying to put my business out there like that. So what you could do, there's another way you can meet up with me. And we can have our conversation exploration, right? FREE, that doesn't cost anything. bit.ly/mindset with Michelle, and that's capital MINDSET, capital WITH, and then capital MICHELE. One L Michelle, y'all, because you only two, and one does the same. So make sure that you can hit me up there on the back end. You can also go to, I think I put this in, you can also drop me a question because you might say, you know what, I'm not ready to really have that interaction. I just kind of want to ease in and just ask you a question and see we go from there. That's cool too. You know what? You can go to info@MicheleDClark.com. Again, that's info@MICHELE, one L of Michelle, because you only two and one does the same, middle initial DCLARK.com. So you can go there and you can shoot me your questions. You can also send me your questions for the rapid fire AMA segment. So then that way your questions can get aired. And then make sure, of course, to tune in so that you can get your questions answered. Now, for those folks who may not be able to watch it when it's live, that's okay too. Guess what? Hashtag replay is for real. So that is also an availability to you. So I want to go up here and let you guys know. So quick, not breaking station identification, but I want to let you guys know that for professional women only. So I know that sometimes guys watch the show, and that's cool beans, no problems with that, right? Because a lot of things that I talk about they're universal. It's not just strictly for us, even though that's who I go to work for the professional woman. So for the professional woman, good segue, we are having Lift Nation Freedom at 1. That's this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Zoom room. So, yes, we'll get a chance to break bread, me and you, and we're going to talk about how Lift Nation is going to go to work for you, the professional woman. So, yes, we're going to have a mini mindset training, and then we're going to go into how Lift Nation is going to go to work for you. And then guess what? Networking, because I believe that you're either networking or not working. So yes, we'll get a chance to have some networking in there as well. So I want to see each and every one of you all. Now, I know you might say, so, okay, Michelle, you had me at Lift Nation Freedom at 1. How can I be a part of that? Because this is for the professional woman who desires freedom and to live it more abundantly. So for those women who say, I want to be free in 2023, all you have to do is go to bit.ly/Lift Nation Freedom at 1. bit.ly, so that's bit.ly/Lift Nation Freedom at 1. That is it. And then you'll register for free, you'll attend, and we'll have a great time. The only thing it's going to cost you is a smile and a positive attitude, right? So at some point in time, I promise you're going to smile. So be on cam. We love to have the ladies on cam because I don't know about you guys, but looking at a bunch of black screens with names on it, or maybe somebody's picture like the whole time, you're like, okay, let's get some interaction, let's get some engagement. So make sure that you are camera ready if you can. I know some people come and they're driving or they're at work or whatever, but if you can be on cam, please do. So that way, especially when we get to our networking segment, it'll be so fabulous. All right, you all. So we are at the 29-minute mark, and so we are going to keep this moving. I want to thank each and every one of you all for coming out to our Tuesday Talks with Miss Clark. LMSW, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you have any questions that you would like to have answered, please feel free to either hit me up on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. I am also on Instagram sometimes, but you really will get the most out of me on LinkedIn or Facebook, especially Facebook. And of course, you can always watch our shows live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So, all right, and make sure that you subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is MicheleDClark Lift. I think I had that here somewhere. Oh, there we are. Boom, put that back there. So MicheleDClark Lift. You can reach me. That is my YouTube channel. Subscribe so that way, and click the little bell so that way you'll be in the know when we drop new content. All right, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and we're going to talk about how we can change not change the emotions, if you will, but change our response based on the event. So the event, our thoughts, feelings, response, reactions. We're going to talk about how we can do that so that way when we experience something that is negative, we don't have to respond negatively. So we're going to map that out tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to resume with our Great at 8. So that's what we're calling our Great at 8. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you all make sure to tune in, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you all. Again, my name is MicheleDClark. I am the mindset management coach for professional women with Lift Nation, where we empower you, the professional woman, to live inspired, free, and transformed. Look forward to seeing each and every one of you all tomorrow, and of course on Saturday at our Freedom at 1. Take care. God bless.